Hello there and welcome. This is going to be an interesting reading. I'm sure you already know what it's about because, it has a title and all that jazz. So we're reading John Titor, or Teeter, however you say it, from back, so a little bit of backstory if you're not familiar. Back in, I think it's like 2004-ish, when the internet was pretty new. We had these forums and like chat rooms before like Facebook and social media where it was super interactive. Like he, I guess, claimed to be a time traveler from 2036, I believe. And he made some, not really predictions, but he like told some stories of how it was like and why he was time traveling. So I guess as the story goes, he traveled back to 1975 to get a computer that apparently had some type of function that was a secret. It was a secret function where I think it had something to do with translating languages, and I think it was like computer languages, not like language like speaking language. But he, I guess, needed that for something, and it was his grandfather or great grandfather, something like that, that was like the computer engineer for IBM. And then years and years later, after he made this claim, IBM came out and said, yeah, actually we did have that function. It was hidden. Only a few people knew about it. There's no way somebody else would have known. There were other predictions, including things like a SARS-like illness or a SARS illness in the late, in the like the 2000, I think he said it was like going to be from 2012 or something like that. But it seems like there's delays. So if you want more information on what his actual like statements, predictions, whatever you want to call them, I will link the video, a really good video from actually 2 years ago, in the description. So if you want to stop and go check that out, it is rather long. I think it's around 40 minutes. Before you watch this, or maybe go after you watch this to see if things line up for you, if it makes sense. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Just knowing that he claimed he was a time traveler from 2036. He traveled back in time to 1975, and then he traveled again to, I think it was 2004, where he started, I guess there were some personal reasons and some other stuff that he needed to do while he was here. And that, now I Googled a little bit about him to see if there was any updates or anything, and he apparently has a Facebook page. I don't know how legit it is with the way things are, and like anyone could just make a flippin' Facebook page, so who knows. But on that page there are some things, and it does actually have posts that go back pre-coronavirus. So but yeah, he predicted war, not predicted, but like said that there would be war around this time. But I think we've delayed it. Like, I think his prediction was probably like 10 years off. But if you are a time travel type of person who believes that it's not linear and all of that, it can be changed. So I kind of want to see if anything got changed by him traveling, if he's actually a traveler. So these are the questions I'm going to ask. Who is he? Is this a real person? I don't want to do yes or no, but so we're going to ask about John Titor, the person. If this is a real person, who is he? I am also going to ask, did he change our current reality by traveling to 1975? And then I'm going to do separately the early 2000s. Will his predictions still come true if there were any changes made? And then how many Johns are in this current reality? Because on that Facebook page, there are posts that say there are currently 4 John Titors in this current timeline. So yeah, so let's see if that's true. And then the last question is, what can we know about time travel in general? So let's get started. As you can see, I've already been shuffling. I'm going to do one more like shuffle, so watch your ears if this is loud. Okay. And I'm using the steampunk tarot for this just because like it's a mix of old-timey with technology, so it's just like a perfect match for time travel to me. So I feel like it'll speak to the situation that way. All right, who is John Titor? the time traveler. Who is John Titor, the time traveler? Okay, I'm gonna do 4 cards. The Fool. Interesting. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, you guys can't see that. 4 cards. And I am gonna go in and shuffle after each set, just to make sure that we're getting the proper cards, because once I got like half the deck out here, you know, there's only so many left. Okay, so who is John Titor? Is he a real time traveler? So the first card we got was the Fool. The Fool being, you know, the beginning of a journey, taking a leap of faith, trusting, and like I'm really like kind of drawn to the stars in this deck here. But yeah, he kind of looks, is that a chimney sweep? Chimney sweep? Okay, let's see. I mean, okay, so yeah, cleaning up. Okay, I'm just cleaning up the past, so maybe. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles, which speaks to, you know, coming together or having another person kind of getting help. I feel like she's helping. He's got some plans here. Is that tarot cards? You guys, are those tarot cards in her hand? What the fuck? And there's 3 cards. I said the F word, sorry YouTube, I'm not monetized, I don't think they care. Okay, so there's 3 tarot cards there. There's 3 Pentacles. It is a 3 of Pentacles, which talks about coming together. So maybe he needed to join some things together. Yeah, so then we have the 7 of Cups talking about options, being maybe a little bit confused. There is also this fog down here, which would also indicate confusion. So yeah, and then we have the World card. So we started, y'all, we started with the Fool card, which is the first in the major arcana, and then we're ending with the World card. Guys, I can't make this shit up. The World card, in case you're not familiar, this is the first of the major arcana. This is the last of the major arcana. This is the beginning and the freaking completion, okay? This is the end of the cycle. This is the beginning of the cycle. This is the unknown entering the unknown, and this is you have learned everything that you needed to learn. And I would say that these are the steps along the way. Do I feel like this is saying that he was a real time traveler? I don't see any images necessarily that would indicate time travel necessarily, but I can see where this could definitely, with it being like he went on a journey and he completed his mission. I can see that here. With the kind of the 2 cards in the middle is more like you know, like some of the things that he had to traverse along the way, like things were not clear, things were a little bit muddy. No swords, so I don't see any communication where he would have maybe left those forum comments, or however you want to call them. But I just got kind of pulled to the back pocket, okay? The back pocket there. It looks like a ruler. Oh shit. I just remembered something else that was in those like predictions. Okay. When I was Googling, I don't think it was in the video that I linked about down in the description, but I remember Googling to see if I could see some of the communications that were going back and forth with him, and I did see something about him giving somebody instructions for the time machine, but it was a physical machine, blueprints. And I'm really kind of getting the feeling that maybe just maybe, that IBM computer that had some translation secret function that only a few people knew about, like maybe 3 people, maybe that was the key to unlocking time travel in the future. Because if I can remember correctly, now you'll have to do your own research, because I don't have the greatest memory. we won't explain why. But I do recall something about 2036 him is where he was from, like when he traveled here, but that time travel was actually became possible in 2034. So there's a period of time of 2 years where they had like to perfect it. So it's possible maybe that they came up with how to do it, and that they needed something out of that IBM computer, possibly something that they needed for, to go with those blueprints. That's just a guess on my part. But it's kind of a feeling as well. So yeah, take with that what you will. But also, okay, what would the Seven of Cups represent as far as his journey? Because we have the beginning and we have the end here, which that shit gave me chills. I feel like okay, with the options that he has here. So the Seven of Cups is basically regarding, having a lot of options, some better than others, okay? Like there's a castle here, but there's a dragon here, like you have options. Being aware of your options before you, being selective, but mainly about having several options to choose from and really not being clear on which one you really want. Again, with that fog indicating it, not being clear. It's not clear. Clearing the air is a phrase that came to mind. But that could be why he stuck around. There were other things that he needed to do. His main goal was accomplished, but he had other things that needed to be taken care of. And I believe that's what that card is representing for us. So do I think he's real? I do. I do think that there was a time traveler that came to, our generation, our time period. I mean, I wasn't alive in 75, but I definitely was in 2004. But yeah, so do I believe, according to the tarot today, that this was a real person and he did achieve time travel? I'm going to call this a yes. So I'm going to shuffle these back into the deck, and we're going to ask the next question, which is going to be, did he change our current reality when he went to the past? So we're going to start with 1975. So at this point, I do believe that he traveled to 1975 and accomplished his goal of retrieving that IBM computer with that secret function. Okay, while he was back there, did he change our current timeline? I did have a card pop out. It's in my lap. I can't get it right this second. So that's what popped out. The Four of Swords. Four of Swords. Five of Swords. That Three of Pentacles again. And the World card. Okay. And those two, if you remember, were not next to each other. So definitely a shuffle. So did he change our current reality when he traveled to 1975? So this is talking about a period of rest. This is talking about some conflict, again, with this. Okay, overall, I'm going to say yes, he did change our current reality by traveling to the past. So again, with those blueprints, he retrieved those blueprints. This is him achieving that goal, okay? So I believe that it took a lot out of him. It took a lot to get there. Here's that. Look at that. Look at that hourglass. Time, okay? Time. It took a lot of time. He needed to recuperate once he got there. I'm really drawn to this crow or raven. I can't tell. I can't really tell in here. I would imagine it's a raven, given the time period that the deck is depicting. And then the Five of Swords is it's kind of a little bit like defeat or not really necessarily deception. That would be more like the Seven of Swords, but I don't feel the defeat in that card. But I do want to point out that we have 4 and 5 next to each other, a suited chronological suit, I guess we could call it that. I'm sure there's a better word for it. But I feel like, it went in order. These were the steps that he needed to take. Okay, So I'm kind of getting a little bit of a hit on that in order for him to change our current reality, it was always meant to be that way. Okay, so try and follow with me. This might be a little confusing because it's kind of confusing myself. So had he not taken the steps, had he not traveled back in time, had he not retrieved the item that he was looking for, time travel would not have been possible. So had he not done this, he wouldn't have been able to come back to do it. Does that make sense? There was an order to things here, but I do feel like it took a long time. It was hard on his body, his physical body, and he kind of, like, this guy's sneaking off with a sword back here while he's trying to sell one to this lady. That's how it looks to me. So he kind of he had to sneak in the back door. I just heard that. He kind of had to be a little sneaky about it, okay? But I feel like the thing that he needed for those blueprints, he achieved that. So I'm going to say that yes, in doing so, he did alter our reality, but it needed to be done that way. So had he not done that, our current reality would have been different. But I just don't know how. So let's pull some more cards. How would our reality have been different? How would our reality have been different if he did not succeed in 1975? Ten of Swords. Fucking A. Sorry, I said the F word again. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm not monetized. They don't care. Knight of Wands. Okay. Another Knight. Knight of Swords. And the Two of Swords. Okay. Are you getting the same vibe I'm getting from this? Okay, had he not retrieved that time machine, we would have been looking at disaster, okay? The Ten of Swords is, this guy has clearly been murdered on the rooftop. There's fires and smoke in the background. This looks like devastation to me. Had he not achieved his goal the way he did, I feel like that's our that would have been our reality. Then we have these two knights here. Okay, Knight of Wands, Wands being passion, Knight of Swords, Swords being communication. I feel like with these two knights, look at them both ready to draw. I feel like we would have been at war. We would have been at war, and people would have had to choose sides. Isn't it kind of like that already? I kind of feel like that's kind of the where we're at now, is people are ready to draw and people are, choosing sides. What is this that she's stepping in? Hold on, I will show you. Okay, so it looks like a gear. At first I kind of thought it was like a bear trap, but it looks like a gear that is kind of sparking electricity. So I'm really getting, even though this is swords and it really relates to air and communication, I'm kind of getting the impression just from that part. Oh, I just heard Cold War. Because I was drawn to the ground here, and then I was drawn to this ground, this snow here, and how she's kind of being electrocuted. Like our planet, the planet would have attacked us, okay? A Cold War. That's very interesting. I'm also currently drawn to this right here. These look like Egyptian hieroglyphs on the wall back there. See that? More birds. More birds. Those look like birds to me. It looks like two different kinds of birds. I am amazed that it's actually focusing, but those look like birds to me. More birds. Messages. There's that bird up there too still. But yeah, okay, so I'm kind of getting maybe our planet may have attacked us. Our pollution and our reckless care for the environment would have resulted in that. So for some, I feel like, okay, there must have been some other reason for him to travel back in time then, aside from, collecting that computer and getting that program. I don't know. I kind of feel like there's more to it than that, because I feel like this set of, you know, like how would it have been different had he not traveled? This really feels to me like devastation and a Cold War is what I heard. So yeah, very strange. I feel like there's more to it than that. So I kind of want to keep going on that topic though. You know what? Let me do this really quick. I just got this new pendulum board. Put it where you guys can see it. My hand's probably going to block it, but that's how I have to do it in order to get an accurate read. We're going to ask a yes or no. Was there more to it? Was there more to why he time traveled to 1975? We're still talking about 1975. Was there more to John Titor traveling to 1975 than just the IBM computer? Thought about it for a minute, but look at that. Can you see that? I hope my hand's not blocking it too much now that I'm talking. Yeah, that's saying yes. There's more to it than that. Okay. Okay. Set that aside. Sorry. Well, can we know about what else happened in 1975? What else can we know about what happened in 1975? Are there any other messages regarding John Titor in 1975? Two cards. Oh, okay. Four of Pentacles and the Devil. Holy shit. Okay, it had to do with money. This is, okay, so this is like the rich, the wealthy, okay, so this is like a bank. I love this deck. This is a bank. There's coins in here. It puts the coin in the thing, and the thing turns. Like the steampunk stuff and movement is all about, you know, using gears and technology. You know, like this is like old timey technology. But this is a bank. Okay, so banks, money, holding on to money. So traditionally, in a regular deck, you would have a grown man hugging a pentacle with his feet placed on the other pentacles, afraid to let it go. Okay, the Devil is about being attached to something in an unhealthy manner. Okay, they're you know, they're trying to control it, but you can't control it. It's a toxic behavior. But with and specifically banks, I don't know why banks it's not the person. It's not a person who is hoarding money. It's not a person. It is banks. That's what I'm feeling from this. So whatever else happened in 1975 has something to do with our current timeline, having to do with banks and being attached. And you know, I know we all are kind of attached to our money. How else would we survive? You need money to pay your bills and feed your kids, and I get that, but this is definitely a different kind of need for money. Okay, but I feel like it has to do with the banks. And I know we're having a oh shit, the coin shortage, the alleged coin shortage. I'm not even going to necessarily call it that, because I don't know if that's even true. That's a whole different fucking reading. But the coin shortage and the banks, that is something. We're gonna move on because I don't want to take too much of your time. And I do have several other questions, but yeah. Wow. I believe it has something to do with our banking system, maybe. Yeah. All right. We're gonna get a good shuffle. And then we're gonna ask about 2000. Did any changes take place in 2000? I'm gonna do 3. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's good enough. Showing off my lousy shuffling skills here. Okay, here we go. All right. Now, when John Titor was in the early 2000s, did he make any changes to our current timeline in 2020? The cards are starting to give me trouble, like even just like this shuffle is being unruly, so I don't know if they want to answer that a whole lot more. Oh, Jesus. The High Priestess. We're getting a lot of major arcana cards out here, you guys. Oh my. All right, so I think that's our hint to stop. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2 major arcana cards here. So, I believe there were some changes made. Okay, so let's talk about the cards. The High Priestess, come on, intuition, Matt, like this is, you know, also kind of keeping some things to yourself. This is a little bit mysterious and like keeping that intrigue. There were things that were kept under wraps, secrets. But yeah, like there's some mystical something about it. Yeah, he made some magic. He made magic happen. Queen of Wands here, okay, and very creative. He had to get creative. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which we have a pentacle, we have the elements, so protecting the elements, and then we also have, oh, what is that? I can't even read out. I can't even make out the planets. Is that the planets? That is the planets, and then the zodiac, okay? So and then we have the planets here, and then we have the zodiac here. This is something having to do with the whole universe. There are, oh, shit. There are math equations in the background. Can you see that? Will it focus? You see these math equations? You see that? Like in the sky, equations in the sky, like our matrix, if you will. Having this be all out in the sky like that. The one thing I also want to notice, or want to point out that I'm noticing on this card is there is a gear back here, but it's covered in greenery, it's covered in moss, which would mean that it hasn't moved. Okay, so with it being the Wheel of Fortune, you would normally think the Wheel of Fortune being spinning. I feel like maybe he had to stop something in time. Maybe that's what that secretive kind of vibe I'm getting here, this mystery vibe. I feel like that something had to be stopped. There was a stop to something that created our current reality. So something got stopped here, okay? That's what I'm getting from that. We have the Six of Pentacles here, which is, you know, creating that balance. Oh, he had to keep the balance. So this having to do with our current reality and the changes that he made in 2000, I feel like he had to stop something because it was going to go out of balance, and he needed to keep that balance. So I think that answers like that 2-part we did on the 1975. I believe he stopped something from happening while he was in the 2000s. That's why he had to come back and stick around. That's why he had to come back in the 2000s. Oh boy, I think he stopped something from happening. This to me is really time stopping. I'm not 100% sure where I feel like the Queen of Wands fits in, other than the wands representing creativity. Okay. Fall. Okay. The sunflower. I'm kind of getting fall. Like the autumn, the season. Okay. That's what I'm getting for that question. Let's move on to the next question. Will his predictions still come true? Predictions. They're not really predictions. If he, and I believe that the cards are saying he did, if he traveled in time, then they aren't predictions. They are happenings, I guess. Alright. Will John Titor's insights still become our reality. Okay, that doesn't want to come out. Perfect. Queen of Pentacles, another queen. The Emperor there, and Temperance. There have been major arcana cards in every single... Oh, I don't even reverse these cards. That's... I don't read reversal with this one, so I'm gonna flip it back over. But holy... Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles, let me put these where you can see. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at like the camera until I have to. The Queen of Pentacles being about money, being the, you know, representing the wealthy, the fucking elite. I keep saying the F word, and this is probably gonna get kicked off of YouTube. Anyways, I'll try and censor myself better, even though that's not the name of the channel. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, the elite. Okay, I'm not even gonna go any further with that. The elite. Okay. The Emperor. I'm gonna that just stays with the elite there. Okay, we have somebody in charge, the elite being in charge of things. I'm gonna say with all these major arcana cards, if for a yes or no, will they still come true? Or, you know, will they still come to pass? I'm going to say with just from the three majors showing up, I'm going to say that that's an overall yes. But going back to the whole balance thing, I want to point out some little minor details here. In the Emperor's Throne, we have the elements, the alchemical symbols for all of 4 of the elements, okay? I just want to point that out because I am also going to point out the Temperance being about balance for the most part, and then the Justice, the scales of justice being balanced. All of this talk about balance is really making me feel like he had to come here because in his time things became unbalanced, and in order to keep the balance, he did have predictions of a civil war in the United States, that I believe predicted would happen. I want to say it was like around 2009. I might be off on my dates, but he was about 10 years off from where we're at now, where we are starting to see that civil unrest. But yeah, I really feel like, I just heard something like to the effect of the people taking over. The people taking over. But, you know, in order to keep the balance, the people need to rise. Okay, just an intuitive insight. The people need to rise. Okay, so as this relates to John Titor and the statements that he made about the future he came from, and will they still come to pass? I'm going to say overall yes. I feel like the elite, the elite are being, okay, the people need to rise. They're taking over the elite. The people are going to keep it balanced. Now, I mean, it really doesn't make sense because the people are currently quite divided. And I've been thinking on this a lot. It's been kind of coming to the forefront of my brain, about the divide and conquer. I just keep hearing that the last few days, divide and conquer. And, you know, somebody is trying to create a division in our country. You know, everyone is divided on one side or the other of some type of issue. There's like a race war of, blacks versus whites, and the whole issue of white supremacy in our country, and how it's kind of ingrained in us. Like we're putting races against each other. And even during that, I've noticed that even people of color, from different nationalities, are going against each other. They're saying, like the Latino population saying, look, we're people of color too, we get, and then so it creates a divide there. And we have people divided over who our next president should be. People divided over whether or not we need to wear a mask in public. Division. Like that division. What does that division mean? I mean, other than the divide and conquer I keep hearing, I feel like that division is more along, it needs to happen. I just feel like that division has to happen in order for the people to rise. And when the people rise, the elite kind of go down, like the scales, okay? Right now, the elite are up here and the people are down here. And in order for the people to come together, what? I don't know. I just got kind of a little bit of something of, in order for the people to come together, first they have to divide and conquer. Oh my God. Divide and conquer, not, oh my God. You guys, how am I so dense? Divide and conquer, meaning, okay, meaning you have the elite here, right? You have the elite right here. I'm doing this like out of a movie where they like draw in dust on the hood of a car to create a plan. You have the elite right here together, okay? And then you have the people. They have divided, but they have divided with a divine fucking purpose. I said the F word again. They divided with a purpose. They are dividing so that they can attack from both sides. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay, that took a long time to get to. I'm really sorry. I know this is a very long video. I hope you're finding it interesting. Okay, I'm gonna move on because that I feel like sums it up. Okay, so will it still come true? Yes, I do feel like there is a division and a civil war, but I believe that the civil war is not the people against the people. It's the people dividing so that they can attack from both sides. Okay, that's where I wanted to go with that. Goodness. Okay, I believe we have one more question. Oh, two more questions. Sorry, I had to pick up a card that fell on the floor. Okay, so the next question, how many Johns are in this current reality? This should be a pretty quick one. I'm gonna ask Spirit to give us a card with a number on it. A number of how many Johns are in the current reality of when I am doing this reading in 2020 on this timeline, on this dimension. How many Johns are there? How many John Titors are there? 9. Okay, 9. Oh, okay, 9. There are 9 versions, but they are still one, is what I'm getting. There are 9 versions. Oh, in different, okay, there are different ages. There are different versions. There are 9 different ages versions in our current reality. So the one who was born in 2000s, he was born in the 2000s. Early, okay. I want to say he was born in 2005. I could be off, but I'm getting that impression that he was born. So that John Titor is currently here, as well as 8 other versions who have traveled back and forth through time. But they are all still the one being. And I feel like that's being, because for me, the 9 of Pentacles has always been the single lady's card. This is you being in your power, doing your own thing, not needing anyone else with your lovely familiar here, okay? Which is a falcon, I believe, in this case. But yes, they are all one being, but there are 9 different versions in our timeline, okay? That's what I'm getting from that. So I knew that one would be pretty fast. I am sticking this in the middle of the deck just so I don't have to do the riffle shuffle again. All right, now is the last question. Wrapping it up. What can we know about time travel? At this point in time, 2020, what can we know about time travel? cards, 4 cards. Okay, I was reminded 4 cards. Y'all, okay. So, time travel is real. That's what I believe. Okay, so we have 2 major arcana cards. Again, 2 majors. The Temperance card, which we already talked about. It's balance, baby steps, dipping your toes in the water before you jump in, knowing what you're getting yourselves into, and of course that balance, okay? Keeping the balance. Then we have the 2 of Cups, where they're putting their 2 energies together and creating this harmony, okay? It's matching the dark with the light and creating, again, balance, harmony, okay? Then we have the Tower, which most of us know the Tower is about a sudden change, a jolt to your reality. And I say jolt because of the electricity here, the lightning electricity here, and also in the next card. Okay, jolt, spark. There is something to this time travel stuff. There really is. And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is, you know, a spark of inspiration and a new idea. This literally could be our freaking time travel card that we were looking for in this deck. You know, time machines. It's combining the old with the new, trying to transfer that energy between timelines. You know, looking for a card with the whole steampunk vibe, looking for a card that has a time machine on it. This might be that. This might be our time machine right here, okay, you guys? I believe time travel is real. I believe the cards just confirmed it. And I want to thank you for watching. And if you have any readings on or any weird subjects like this, I love doing readings like this. I don't get to do them very often. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of getting some signals from Spirit that the zodiacs aren't something that I should be doing anymore. So I kind of want to do more of these. So please leave your ideas in the comments. I have a few, and I have done some dead celebrity readings. One that I posted Robin Williams. If you go way down in my list, maybe I'll make a playlist for those or something. But if you go way down on my channel, you'll find the Robin Williams one where I contact Robin Williams. I also did one for Kurt Cobain that I did not post for personal reasons. Some things that came up in that reading, but if I get enough people telling me, I will post it. But yeah, so I'm really interested in doing this, so leave your suggestions. If it resonates, make sure you subscribe and hit that like so YouTube will show it to other people, because I find this very interesting. So thank you again for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.